So the question stops being, what should I renovate? And starts becoming, what's the minimum I can do to make this home photograph well, show well, and feel cared for? That's where the highest return live, and that's exactly what the next several chapters are going to impact. Quick pause here because we want you to have this resource before anything else. If you're sitting in front of an inherited home right now and you genuinely don't know whether to clean it out, fix it up, list it, or sell as is, you can click a link in the description to book a free, no pressure consultation with our team. We'll walk you through the property specific situation with you, give you our honest read on what's worth spending money on and what isn't, and connect you with vetted professionals, attorneys, clean out crews, contractors, stagers, photographers, through our trusted provider network. No high pressure sales, no commitment, just 20 years of experience with a clear next step. That link is in the description below, and we'll come back to it again at the end of the video. Now let's get into the improvements, what actually move the needle. Let me share this story with you. We walked into an inherited home in North Orange, a single-story house from the 70s. The family was about to spend $18,000 painting the entire interior and refinishing the floors. The home was structurally sound, the layout was good, the kitchen was dated but functional. What it really was dirty. 30 years of life had layered itself onto every surface. Kitchen grease above the stove, dust on every blade of every ceiling fan, dingy baseboards, foggy windows, carpet that had seen 4 pets and 3 decades. We asked them to hold off on the painters and the floor crew for 2 weeks. We brought in a professional deep clean team. About $1,500 for the whole house. Windows inside and out, baseboards scrubbed. Cabinets wiped down and degreased. Carpets steam cleaned. Light fixtures dusted and the bulbs replaced with matching warm white LEDs. 2 weeks later, we walked back in and the home looked refreshed without a single new finish. Why does this work? Buyers don't actually see dirt. What they feel is something less articulate. They feel like a home has been neglected, and the neglect makes them suspicious about everything they can't see. A spotless home tells the buyer's brains before they consciously process it, that home was cared for. That feeling alone shifts the price they're willing to pay. Industry analysis of pre-sale improvements consistently rank a thoroughly deep clean as one of the highest return actions a seller can take, often delivering returns in thousands of points. We see this played out in every single listing. So if you only do one thing on this list, do this. Hire a professional deep clean crew. Don't ask family members to do it. Don't try to DIY it on a weekend after work. Spend the $800 to $1,500 in Orange County and let trained professionals make this home shine. Right behind the deep clean sits a paint refresh. Now, the key word in the sentence is refresh. We are not talking about repairing every wall, ceiling, and trim board in the house. We're talking about a surgical paint strategy. Walk the home with us in your head. The places that move buyers are the ones they'll touch and notice. Main living room areas, the primary bedroom, kitchen walls, and any room where the previous owner painted a bold color. A 1990s burgundy dining room or a teal accent wall in a bedroom can knock thousands off a buyer's perceived value because they immediately start mentally redecorating, bringing those rooms back to a warm neutral. Swiss coffee, alabaster gray, something in that family gives a home a clean palette without committing to a full repaint. In Orange County, expect a partial interior repaint to run anywhere from $2,500 to $6,000 for a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, depending on how much of the home needs attention. Add in patching old picture hanging holes, scuffs, and the small water stains on the ceiling near the bathroom you've been ignoring, and you've got a house that suddenly feels light, fresh, and updated without touching a single piece of cabinetry or flooring. One quick tip from 20 years of doing this: skip the trim. Touching up trim is a slow, expensive process, and most buyers don't notice. Well-maintained trim in a neutral color save the budget for the walls. This is where the 2025 national data gets impossible to ignore. According to the most recent cost versus value report from Zonda, replacing a garage door delivers about a 268% return on investment, meaning for every dollar spent, the home picks up roughly $2.68 in resale value. A steel entry door replacement comes in close behind, around 216% ROI. And here in the Pacific region, which includes Orange County, the overall returns are actually the highest in the country this year. Think of that like getting the home field advantage. We already start ahead of the national average. And an inherited home, you may not need to replace the garage door at all. In many cases, a thorough power wash, a fresh coat of exterior paint on a sealed, solid door, and a new weather stripping does the visual job for under $300. If the door is dented, faded, or the springs are failing, replacing it with a basic steel insulated door runs around $1,500 to $3,000 installed in Orange County. And the data says you'll see the money come back 2 to 3 times over. The front door is the same story. Paint it, replace the handset in a modern matte black or brushed nickel set, add a clean welcome mat, and 1 or 2 potted plants on either side. If the door itself is damaged, the steel entry doors is about $2,000 to $3,000, and it is one of the reliably most profitable improvements you can make in your home. For the front yard, we're not asking you to landscape, we're asking you to clean. Trim the overgrown bushes, rake the leaves out of the planters. Pull the weeds, drop 2 cubic yards of bark. About 200 delivered and another couple of hundred to spread it out. The entire front of the house transitions from deferred maintenance to loved. Drought-tolerant plant swaps work especially well in our Southern California climate and signal low water bills to buyers, which is very Orange County concern right now. Here's a little secret in our industry. Almost any inherited home, particularly homes from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, have 2 visual giveaways that scream outdated before a buyer even processes anything. The first is the lighting, the second is the hardware. Lighting first, those flush-mounted lights in the hallways, the brass chandelier over the dining table, the 4-bulb vanity strip in the bathroom, those are signaling decade more than design. Swapping out for 4 or 5 of the most visible light fixtures for modern, simple, brushed nickeled or matte black fixtures from any big box store costs between $400 and $1,000 total, and changes the way the home photographs in a way that's hard to overstate. And in a market where buyers are scrolling listings on their phone before they ever step foot in the home, the photographs matter more than showing. Hardware is the same principle. Even cheaper cabinet poles and knobs in a kitchen and 2 bathrooms can usually be swapped for $150 to $300 in materials and an afternoon of labor. Suddenly, your maple cabinets from 1992 look intentional instead of dated. Door handles throughout the home, especially the matching exterior set, are another high leverage swap. Round this off with a fresh set of switch plates and outlet covers, $20 from any hardware store, and you spent under $1,500 to give the entire home a visual lift that buyers can't quite name, but they feel. Now we have to be careful here because this is where most heirs blow their budget. We're not telling you to remodel the kitchen. The 2025 cost versus value data is straightforward on this. A minor kitchen remodel returns 113% nationally, while a major kitchen overhaul drops roughly to 51%. An inherited home, the major kitchen remodel is almost always a financial mistake. What we are telling you is this. Small targeted refreshers go a long way. In the kitchen, they might mean painting tired oak cabinets in a clean white or warm gray, swapping the cabinet hardware, replacing yellowed faucet with a modern matte black or brushed nickel one for under $200, and putting a new $300 light fixture in the aging area. If the appliance function and matching, keep them. One of them is burned, rusted, a basic stainless replacement is $600 to $1,200. In the bathroom, new light fixtures, new faucet, fresh caulk around the tub and shower. Buyers notice old caulk almost more than anything else because cracked, mildewed caulk reads as neglected plumbing. New toilet seats, fresh towels, a small plant for the showings. Total spend on the bathroom, $300 to $700. Add it all together and you spent maybe $2,000 to $4,000 between kitchen, bathrooms, and you've moved the house to a meaningful step closer to buyer ready without committing to a full remodel that would have eaten the entire net proceeds from the sale. So let's pull back and put numbers on the whole picture. The 2025 cost versus value report from Zonda, which is the industry standard data tracked annually in partnership with Remodeling Magazine and the Journal of Light Construction, shows that the Pacific region, which includes Orange County, posts the highest overall remodeling ROI in the country this year. That's not a small deal. It means that in our specific market, dollar for dollar, smart improvements return more than almost anywhere else in the United States. Here's the rough national snapshot for the projects most relevant to an inherited home. And remember, our regions tend to outperform these averages. Garage door replacement cost around $4,672. Value added around $12,526. Steel entry doors replacement cost around $2,435. Value added $5,270. Minor kitchen remodel, roughly 113% ROI. Professional deep clean, the unofficial champion, returns regularly reported the thousands of percentage points. Major kitchen remodel drops to around 51% nationally. The pattern is unmistakable. The least expensive, most visible improvements return the most. The expensive, customized, deep personal improvements return the least. For an inherited home, where the goal is usually a clean, profitable, timely sale, the math practically writes itself. Before we close out, let's name the 4 mistakes we see heirs make most often so you can avoid them. The first mistake is over improving the home, spending $50,000 on improvements that add $25,000 to the sale price. The math doesn't recover, and the time you spent could have been spent closing. Second is treating the home like a personal project. Painting a bedroom in a color you love, refinishing the floors in a stain you choose for your own home, picking finishes that reflect your taste. Buyers don't care about your taste. They care about whether the home feels neutral and move-in ready. The third mistake is moving too fast. Grief creates urgency. Probate punishes urgency. Spending $30,000 on a renovation in the first month before you understand the buyer pool, the timeline, the step-up basis, implications, or court confirmation process, if it applies, in probate is one of the most expensive decisions a family can make. And the fourth mistake is going at it alone. Inherited home sales in Orange County are not the same as a normal real estate transaction. There are attorneys to coordinate, court timelines to navigate, family dynamics to manage, personal property to inventory, and providers to vet. Trying to assemble that team in the middle of grief is frankly brutal. That's why we built our Orange County probate service. We coordinate the attorneys, the clean out crews, the contractors, the stagers, the photographers, and inspection professionals, and the sale itself, all through a vetted provider network. So families can focus on each other instead of project managing 12 different vendors during one of the hardest seasons of their lives. If you'd like a free, no-pressure consultation, head to the link to our calendar in the descriptions. We'll talk through the specific situation, give you our honest take on what's worth doing, and help you build a path forward that protects the value of the home and the peace of your family. One last reminder, because it matters, we're not attorneys, we're not CPAs, and nothing in this video is legal or tax advice. For step-up basis, capital gains, Prop 19, Prop 13, court confirmation, or any other legal or tax question specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney and CPA. We're happy to introduce you to ones we trust if you don't have those professionals yet. Thanks for spending time with us today. If this video helped you, do us a favor. Hit the like button so YouTube knows to show it to other Orange County families who need it. Subscribe for more probate, trust, and inherited property guidance. And drop a question in the comments. We read everyone. We'll see you in the next video.